Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel where ancient wisdom meets modern psychology. If you subscribe today, you'll discover insights that can transform your mindset and your relationships. Today's episode starts with a powerful line from the Chinese classic, 才跟贪切跟等，工人之恶无太言要四其看守. When you point out someone's faults, don't be too harsh. Consider whether they can truly receive it. The short line offers deep wisdom for marriage, especially when it comes to giving feedback to a husband or spouse. It's not just about correcting, it's about inspiring change through the power of respectful, intentional words. So the question is, how do we help a partner truly listen, reflect, and grow without making them feel attacked? Let's explore this together, starting with ancient philosophy, then moving into psychology and educational theory. A psychological approach. First, create emotional safety. Start with empathy. Instead of jumping into criticism, try, you must have had a long day. Yeah, I've felt that way too sometimes. Empathy softens defensiveness. It shows you're here to understand, not accuse. Use language that protects self-esteem. Instead of, why would you do that? Try, what was going through your mind at that moment? Questions like these invite conversation, not conflict. Focus on actions, not identity. Don't say, why are you always like this? Say, that behavior didn't feel right to me. When you talk about actions, not the person, your partner is less likely to shut down. An educational perspective feedback that opens the door to change. Replace blame with possibility. Instead of, that was wrong, try, maybe there's a better way to approach that. You're offering a bridge, not a wall. Be specific and actionable. Not to raise or start I wish you just do better. But next time, maybe try phrasing it like this. Clarity turns criticism into guidance. Make it we, not you. Avoid where you're surit in. This is your issue. Try. How can we both make this easier for each other? Togetherness is powerful. It's not about who's right, it's about how we grow. In conclusion, this single line from Kaigen Tan is not just moral advice. It's a blueprint for emotional intelligence, for relationship growth, and for nurturing trust. If we truly want our words to lead to change, they must be wrapped in respect, safety, and care. If this insight was helpful for you, don't miss our next episode. Hit that subscribe button now, and let's keep growing deeper together. Thank you for watching. Why some criticism hurts, and others heal. Ancient wisdom for modern marriages. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel where ancient wisdom meets modern psychology. Today, we're exploring one powerful question. Why does some criticism destroy a relationship, while other criticism helps it grow? Let's begin with a quote from the Chinese classic Kaigen Tan. When pointing out someone's fault, don't be too harsh. Think first, can they even receive it? Now let's apply this to marriage, especially when giving feedback to your husband. You'll be surprised how much psychological truth is packed into this ancient line. What happens when a husband can't emotionally handle the criticism? Damage to self-esteem. When a man hears over and over that he's wrong or not good enough, he begins to internalize it. I'm a failure. Men who value external respect, especially at work, can feel deeply wounded when they don't feel respected at home. This can lead to withdrawal, helplessness, or emotional shutdown. Psychological defense mechanisms kick in. Here's how many men respond. Avoidant, yeah, it was her. Okay. They say the right thing, but quietly disconnect. Defensive. Well, what about you? They fight back and arguments escalate. Silent. They say nothing, but the distance grows. The relationship becomes emotionally cold. A shift in power dynamics. If one partner is always right and the other always wrong, the criticized partner becomes passive, bitter, or resentful. Eventually, conversations dry up. Emotional intimacy fades. Emotional disconnection leads to a communication spiral. Criticism hurt, defensiveness, silence, distance. Now criticism no longer feels like love, it feels like an attack. You still have words, but no real dialogue. So what can we do instead? Start by validating his emotions. That must have been tough for you. This single phrase creates space for growth. Critique behavior, not character. Not why do you always act like this? But that comment felt a little hurtful to me. Be a partner in the solution, not that's your problem. But what can we do to make things easier for both of us? Go small, go slow, stay warm. Don't unload 5 issues at once. Address one thing at a time with love and patience. In conclusion, when your husband can't take criticism, it's not about being too sensitive. It's about how deeply his identity, emotions, and role in the relationship are being challenged. So instead of fix it, try let's figure this out together. Instead of pointing fingers, open a safe space rooted in love and trust. Because words don't just correct behavior. They either build connection or break it down. If this message resonated with you, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and join me in the next video for more timeless wisdom and modern insights. Thanks for watching. Hello and welcome. Let's begin today with one powerful line of ancient wisdom. 工人之恶无太严，要思其看守. When pointing out someone's fault, don't be too harsh. First, ask can they even handle it? This line from the Chinese classic Kai, Zhenten isn't just poetics, it's psychologically profound. It reminds us that truth without compassion can feel like an attack. And even the most accurate criticism can do harm if the other person isn't ready to receive it. This isn't just ancient philosophy, it's essential relationship wisdom. Today we're going to explore how this principle applies to marriage, especially when giving feedback to a husband. Why does he sometimes seem distant when you're simply trying to help? Why do empathy and patience look so different between spouses? Let's dive into the neuroscience, the psychology, and the social context behind it so we can learn how to communicate not just clearly, but lovingly. Why your husband seems less empathetic and what's really going on. Today, we're starting with a quote from the Chinese classic Kaigan Tan. When you point out someone's fault, don't be too harsh. First ask, can they even receive it? This simple line holds a deep truth. Even when you're right, your words can still wound if the other person isn't ready to hear them. And when it comes to marriage, especially when giving feedback to a husband, this insight is gold. So today's question is, why do husbands often seem less empathetic than their wives? Why do they handle emotions so differently? Let's explore the answers using both modern psychology and social context. 1. Empathy differences, not personality, but brain and culture. Empathy isn't just a personal trait, it's shaped by our brains, upbringing, and gender roles. Brain structure differences. Neuroscience shows that women have more activity in areas related to emotional processing, like the anterior cingulate cortex in the mirror neuron system. That's why many wives notice tone, expression, and emotional shifts more quickly. A wife often picks up the emotional details, while the husband tends to focus on solving the problem. It's not that he lacks empathy, his instinct is to fix, not feel. Social learning differences. From a young age, girls are told to think about others' feelings, while boys hear, don't cry, be strong. So men and women are trained to handle emotions differently. It's not that your husband lacks empathy, he may have just learned to express it differently. 2. Patience looks different, but the feelings are real. Daily stress tolerance. Wives often process stress outwardly through expression or emotional release. Husbands may go silent, shut down, or seem unaffected. But often that's not calm, it's internalized pressure. In conflict, wives want to talk through emotions. Husbands want to move past them. This leads to familiar conversations. Wife, why won't you listen to me? Husband, can we just stop talking about this? They're reacting to the same problem, just in completely different ways. From a psychological perspective, a wife's empathy is often emotional and expressive. A husband's empathy is often analytical and solution-based. Her empathy sounds like, that must have been so hard. His empathy might sound like, so what's the plan now? Neither is wrong, just different. The takeaway, your husband may not lack empathy, he may simply express it differently. And when he goes quiet, it may not mean he doesn't. It may mean he's overwhelmed and suppressing his emotions to cope. Understanding these emotional languages is the key to a deeper, healthier marriage. It's not about changing each other, it's about meeting in the middle. If this helped you see things in a new light, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your own story in the comments. We're different, but we can still connect beautifully. Thank you for watching. Hello everyone, and welcome back. Let me begin with one line from ancient Chinese wisdom. From the classic Kaigan Tan, it reads, 公人之恶无太严，要思其看守. When pointing out someone's fault, don't be too harsh first. Ask if they can truly receive it. This isn't just an old proverb. It's a relationship truth we desperately need today, especially in marriage. Because even when you're right, the way you speak can still cause harm. I often get asked, what should I do when my husband keeps making the same mistake? How can I say something without hurting him or causing another fight? That's not a matter of clever words. It's about understanding emotions, habits, context, and communication design. So today, let's walk through how to give feedback that actually works without damaging trust or connection. Psychological strategy: create emotional safety first. If emotions are already high, even the wisest words won't land. That's why timing matters. Say something like, let's talk about it later, when we're both calm and comfortable. Postponing isn't avoidance, it's care. And how you speak matters too. Avoid one per certain deal. Why are you always like this? Instead say, it really upset me when that happened. Speak from your feelings, not from judgment, and empathy will follow. 2. Educational strategy shift from blame to shared discovery. Don't say, you messed up again. Try, why do we keep running into this? Let's figure it out together. When it becomes our problem, not your problem, defenses drop. And be specific with solutions. Just stop doing that as vague. Next time, could we try doing it this way? Is much better. 3. Design the environment. If a mistake keeps repeating, maybe the environment needs to change, not just the person. For example, if he keeps leaving things around, instead of, why can't you ever clean up? Say, what if we put a basket right here? Make better behavior easy, not just expected. 4. Use a feedback loop. When things repeat, focus on the pattern, not the person. Say, hey, I feel like this has come up a few times lately. And when he gets it right, don't wait, acknowledge it right away. Thanks for remembering this time. It meant a lot. If emotions ran high before, summarize later with honesty. When this happens, I end up feeling a bit alone. What not to say? Avoid phrases like, here we go again. Why can't you ever get it right? You're never gonna change. These words destroy both self-esteem and motivation to grow. Parnanarium. Final thoughts. Whenever you're about to correct someone, ask yourself, is this person in a place to receive it? Because change doesn't begin with logic, it begins with emotional safety. And effective feedback isn't just about words. It's about tone, timing, structure, and most of all, respect. If we want real change, we need to speak from a place of let's do this together, not you need to fix this. And remember, repeated empathy is more powerful than repeated criticism. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me next time as we explore more wisdom to grow your mindset and your relationships. Thanks for watching. When good advice doesn't work, how to inspire change without pushing too hard. Hello everyone. Welcome to the channel where ancient wisdom meets modern relationships. Let's start today with one line from the Chinese classic Kaigan Tan. 教人一善，无过高，当时其可从. When teaching someone to do good, don't set the bar too high. Make sure it's something they can actually follow. This isn't just poetic philosophy. It's a vital reminder for marriage, especially when you're trying to help your husband grow, understand, or change. One of the most common questions I hear is, why doesn't my husband take my advice? Even when I'm clearly saying something good or right, you might be offering wisdom, but all he hears is distance. Why? 1. Cognitive dissonance. When ideals feel too far away. If your words feel too far from your partner's current reality, he may unconsciously shut down. He might think, that's not me. I can't live up to that. Even a gentle phrase like, try to be more patient and loving, might be heard as, you're not doing enough, and now you need to do even more. Instead of feeling inspired, he feels exhausted. 2, emotional disconnection. When your words sound like judgment. High-minded advice, even when well-meaning, can sound like moral superiority. You're right, I'm wrong. You're enlightened, I'm failing. That's probably not your intention. But emotionally, it can feel like comparison, not connection. For example, saying we should rise above and live kindly might be heard as, I'm clearly not doing that, and now I'm the problem again. 3, lack of practicality. When words feel too abstract. Many husbands are wired to respond to action, not abstraction. So while let go of anger and show compassion sounds beautiful, he may quietly think, that sounds nice, but in real life, I'm drowning. Be real with me. So how do we speak in a way that works? The answer, not higher but closer. Not abstract ideals, but practical, compassionate steps. Let's look at some examples. You need to be more virtuous. We're both tired. Let's find one small way to support each other better. Stop being angry. Respond with love. It's okay to be mad. When I feel that way, I try taking a breath before I speak. Be stronger. Be better. Let's take this one step at a time together. Final takeaway. When wives try to guide with wisdom, the key isn't what you say, it's how high you place the message. If the advice feels unreachable, the heart won't follow. But if it feels real, human, and shared, that's where connection and change begin. So let your guidance be grounded. Speak from beside, not above. Use a soft tone, simple steps, and shared effort, because that's what truly transforms a relationship. The ancient line from Chaigen Ten says, teach goodness, but not at a level too high. Show the path so others can actually walk it. That's not just Eastern wisdom, it's psychology, communication, and love in action. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your story in the comments. Let's keep learning how to speak love in a way that can truly be heard. Thank you for watching.